Good evening. Welcome to the National News Broadcast. I'm Kasuni Balachandra.
A very good evening. I'm Lakshita Jirasinghe, and to start off, we take a quick look at the headlines. The Prime Minister says there is no necessity to increase gas price. Railway strike ends. Government gives solutions to workers' problems. The Attorney General informs the court that Attorney General of Singapore has been briefed for the third time to extradite Arjun Mahendran to Sri Lanka. Ravi Karunanayake in the prison banned from meeting visitors during quarantine period. The CID launches investigations on journalist Sujeeva Gamage for making a false complaint. New guidelines issued for foreign tourists arriving in the country.
Moving on to those and other stories in detail. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa has said that there's no necessity to increase gas price during the festive season. The Prime Minister said that there is no shortage of gas in the country. He mentioned this while attending a progress review discussion on the economic situation and marketplace yesterday at the Temple Trees. The Prime Minister paid his attention on giving concessions on rice, coconut, milk food, fish, meat, eggs, dal, grains, big onions, red onions, potatoes, vegetables, fruits and gas to consumers. Trade Minister Bandara Gunawardena drew the attention at the discussion on the disruption of supplies network due to COVID-19 pandemic, changes to foreign exchange ratio, price increase of essential goods and requests by gas companies to increase price. The Economic Research Unit of the Central Bank presenting a report pointed out there is a price increase of essential goods in the global economy with COVID-19 pandemic. It was pointed out that trade deficit can widen if import controls are relaxed. It was emphasized the need to collect foreign exchange by encouraging exports by strengthening local businesses.
The Attorney General informed Colombo Permanent Three-Judge Bench High Court today that a third explanation has been sent to the Attorney General of Singapore in connection with the extradition process of former Central Bank Governor Arjun Mahendran to Sri Lanka. Arjun Mahendran has been accused of central bank bond scam in 2016. The case was taken before Justices Janaki Rajaratna, Damit Totavatta and Namal Balalla. Appearing on behalf of the Attorney General, Deputy Solicitor General Palinda Ranasinghe informed the court that information has been received. The first accused of the case, Arjun Mahendran, is in Singapore and a request was made to the Attorney General of Singapore to expel him to Sri Lanka. The court was requested to issue an order through the Sri Lankan embassy in Malaysia, since information has been received that the 10th accused, Ajan Garthia Punchaheva, is living in Malaysia. Accepting the request, the three-judge bench ordered to issue the notice in English language through Sri Lankan embassy in Malaysia. Meanwhile, 8 accused, including former Minister Ravi Karunanayake, who were remanded in connection with the bond case, have been sent for quarantine at Walikada prison premises, where the women prison building was located earlier. The suspects will not be able to meet anyone during quarantine period, and bringing down food from outside is banned. Before they were taken to the place, the women inmates at the Walikada prison were transferred to other prisons. That is due to a quarantine center being set up there to quarantine inmates of Colombo prisons.
Sisidariatra project was launched today under the patronage of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa at the Temple Trees. School stationery were distributed among the children of Kalathura district who were admitted to Grade 1 under the project Sisidariatra. Program is implemented as a social service event of Minister Rohita Abe Gunawardena. The objective is to educate students of the country. All school stationery given to students under the Sisidariatra program have been manufactured by local entrepreneurs. 106 students were given stationery under the first phase. 20,000 students are to be given stationery under the project in the Kalathura district. Addressing the gathering, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa said that he is happy to attend such ceremonies that encourage children. He pointed out the importance of implementing the program in other districts as well.
The epidemiology unit says that the AstraZeneca vaccine has so far been provided to 860,449 persons under the COVID-19 inoculation program. The vaccination program has been carried out for the 49th day today. 9,657 persons were vaccinated yesterday. Minister Nima Siripala de Silva has requested to inform the Labour Department about private sector employees who lost their jobs due to difficulties in travelling, sacking or due to other difficulties during the pandemic period. The Ministry of Health has issued an amended series of guidelines for foreign tourists and airline passengers who arrived in the country. It is implemented for Sri Lankan airline passengers, tourists and dual citizens. Accordingly, airline passengers who have got the COVID vaccine 2 weeks before arriving in the country can proceed to their destination if they were found not to be infected with the virus from a PCR test done within 24 hours. When they reach their home areas, it should be informed to medical officers in the area. The relevant persons will be sent to a quarantine center or to a quarantine hotel until PCR test results are received. They should also undergo another PCR test after 7 days. The persons who have not been vaccinated should be quarantined at a quarantine center or at a quarantine hotel after arriving in the country. Tourists who are arriving after getting the vaccine should stay in the hotel for 7 days after a PCR test. During that period, they will be permitted to travel in a biobubble concept. If confirmed that they have not been infected with the virus from the PCR tests on the first day and after 7 days, they can travel to their destination as they wish. The tourists who have not got their vaccine should stay for 14 days at the same place, and they should also travel under biobubble concept. If confirmed anyone who has arrived in the country is infected with COVID-19, action will be taken under present quarantine regulations.
A top Russian wealthy businessman, Andrei Melnichenko, who has arrived in the country, looked into investment opportunities at the Colombo Port City project yesterday. Melnichenko is a billionaire who has made huge investments in the large fertilizer company Eurochem of Switzerland and Russian energy company SUEK. He toured the Colombo Port City and commended its present constructions and development plans. Chairman of the Board of Investment, Sanjay Mohotala, said that Colombo Port City attracted the attention of top-level global investors from the beginning of this year. A former member of European Union Parliament, Niranjan Devaditya, was present on this occasion.
The Prime Minister's media unit says that Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa will leave the island tomorrow for a 2-day state visit to Bangladesh on an invitation from Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. The Prime Minister's tour coincides with the centenary birth anniversary of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, who is considered as the father of Bangladesh Republic, and the Golden Independence Jubilee of Bangladesh. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa is scheduled to deliver a speech on Friday in connection with Mujib Year, which has been declared to coincide with a celebration. The local health ministry has given the approval to take part in the tour following strict health protective measures as a secured biotourist bubble according to the process to prevent COVID-19 pandemic.
The strike launched by engine drivers and guards based on several demands was called off at 12 noon today following discussions with Minister Gamini Lokuge and trade unions. Engine drivers and guards launched a token strike midnight yesterday based on several demands. However, they operated several trains on some routes. Railway commuters were severely inconvenienced due to the strike. The discussion between railway trade union representatives and Minister Gamini Lokuge took place at the Transport Ministry. The trade unions decided to end the strike after receiving successful solutions to their problems.
Police say that a statement from MP Rajitha Senaratne will be recorded in connection with investigations into the abduction and assault of journalist Sujiva Gamage. Police media spokesman DIG Ajit Rohana briefed the matter at a media briefing today at police headquarters. Police media spokesman DIG Ajit Rohana said that an abduction of a journalist was reported on the 10th of March. It was reported that the person named Sujiva Gamage, aged 62 years, had been abducted by 4 persons. Investigations by the Colombo Crimes Division found that the journalist has made a false complaint. And that's all the stories for tonight. We'll see you tomorrow at the very same time. Good night.
Good night.